From Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a great week, great start to the week for some people like us that took Memorial Day off. And so hope you guys had a great week. And we're episode 195 here. And don't forget, we're streaming this as a we're also casting this as a podcast, streaming it on audio format, several different places, so you can check it out there. Won't have a lot of visuals this week. We are going to pull up an article, but otherwise we won't have a lot of visuals this week. So yeah, you can join it there, or you can come over and join us live and ask your questions live on the YouTube channel. So anyway, so how's your weekend? Memorial Day. We were actually closed Saturday and Monday.
Right.
Probably the only dealership in the entire United States that probably did that. You know, there's some that'll do Memorial Day, you know, remember those that, you know, that fought for us and such. And, you know, but not many dealers will take the Saturday prior to as well. Saturday's a big selling day. Ford usually will go, so in fact, I even had one of our vendors say, hey, Friday is like Friday afternoon. Like, hey, do you need anything for this big selling weekend you guys about ready to have? And I'm like, we're actually closing Saturday and Monday. So it's like, but when you do well, you know, you can have your employees take that time off and spend time with their family. So anyway,
I mean, when half your dealership is taking off anyways.
Yep. So anyway, it's good. So a good place to work, definitely. Cause they give us that time off, you know, you'll see Christmas Eve, or not only Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve many times and such. So it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of dealerships that have their people put in a lot of hours, thinking that helps them sell more cars. And we found just the opposite, is that if we give them that time and say, we need you to work hard up until, so we can give you guys a great 3-day weekend. Then they seem to just work so much better. And then when they come back, they're refreshed and ready to go. Yeah. So anyway. All right. So with that in mind, let's see what else we got going on. So what did other than I worked Saturday, I worked, It was just, it was in our flower bed,
Yeah.
working at the house, getting some things done, you know, and everything. But what about you?
We cleaned out the garage Thursday, Friday. Friday, Saturday had a garage sale. Spur of the moment. We weren't planning to. Spur of the moment, we're like, garage sale, let's go. So he cleaned out the shed while I had the garage sale going up front. He kept bringing stuff up. And then Sunday we're supposed to do that, but we had to reschedule Theo's party from last Sunday to this Sunday because of tornado-like weather. So we had that birthday party, another birthday party, and a graduation as well.
Yeah.
And then birthday was at grandma's house. So we did not stop moving the entire weekend.
Yeah. Sunday, yeah, went over for your birthday party and such, and then of course church and everything. And then Monday, Memorial Day, really kind of slept in, rested in, not slept in, but got up and got around slowly and just kind of enjoyed the morning, quiet and everything. And then, which I don't get to do, working about every Saturday. But then the afternoon, I actually did some work. I got some. You guys will see this next week. You guys are going to be bombarded by a bunch of Super Duty videos, and so I was working on getting ready for those videos because Super Duty is a whole different beast when it comes to the order guide and everything, and how they do things and configurations and everything. Not different trim levels, but you're talking about models within trim levels and wheelbases, and oh man. Anyway, wrapping your hand around that and getting it all right. And I even looked back at the video I did from Saturday and was like, oh, I messed up there. That actually is not correct. I found it when I was correcting it going through packages today. So anyway, so we got a couple, I went through all that and worked on that last night too. And a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah. But yes, got vacation coming up though. So 4 short days for me and then 9 days off. So anyway, but yeah. So all right. Let's see what else. Don't forget to make sure you're subscribed, bell notification turn on and everything for the video and for all other videos. And also don't forget about all the different links down in the comments. We'll have links to all the different merch you want. Like actually these polos are on there. Somebody actually brought one of these shirts. Maybe it was you. Anyway, because we had a sale yesterday, so I had sold a couple things yesterday, and I noticed somebody bought one of the polos.
Oh.
Anyway, so we have the polos like this, different things like that, hats, all kinds of fun stuff. But what's going on starting tomorrow, or actually today and tomorrow, is 10% off of 3 or more products. And the 29th to the 2nd of June is 20% off everything. So if you missed the 25% off sale yesterday, so 20% off, still pretty good. So you can check that out. But
when is that?
The 20% is 29th to the 2nd.
Oh, okay.
So, yep. Anyway, and then so we got a Law McArthur merch site as well. You can check that out too. You got Law McArthur merch. Anyway, so recent videos this last week. We had no Maverick video yesterday. We won't have one next week either because I'll be gone.
Right.
And then we'll see Super Duty. I went over the changes for this year, which we'll talk about today. So if you didn't miss that video, don't go watch it. We're going to cover most everything here today as well and answer any questions that people have about Super Duty. So hopefully you guys come with your questions and just see how good I am. And then see what else. Last week we did a walk around on the Heritage Edition for the Bronco, and I got a fun video that I've recorded already on the Strop. Our Strop Edition came in. In fact, our second Strop Edition came in today, I think. So we have 2. We have one that's available, one online today. So we do have a Strop available, and then we do have the other one should be sold. So anyway, let's see what else is going on. Other than that, yes, starting Thursday, you'll start seeing the Super Duty videos going live. So XL one day, XLT the next, Lariat the next, and work its way. And then probably not one on Sunday, but then next week while I'm gone, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably have videos on the different Super Duty videos. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy those. And I got to record all those this week. So all right, let's see what else. Anything else? I can't think of anything. Yeah. So there you go. So Brian and Melissa might join us in Utah.
Yeah.
When we get over to Utah on our trip, on our vacation, they said that they'd be getting back from a trial run on a, they do tours and such. They're doing a ghost town tour that they're working on in Nevada. And so when they get back from that, then they said, hey, we could come over there. So they might come over and join us for a day or two. Might be kind of cool. The end of the week.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to hang out with them. I did get a jack, ARB high lift jack for the Bronco. I've been running without a jack, and the factor jack does not work. So I'm really excited to I'll probably eventually do a video on that. But I didn't learn how to use it, got it out, and everything. So Melissa's real big in making sure that I went one. I think we went to Utah. I had just gotten the air up, air down, 4 hoses and everything, and so I got it out and I said, well, let's see. She goes, well, have you used it? And I said, the first time using this. She was like, Tim, you're supposed to test your stuff out before you need to use it. I said, yeah, probably. So I learned from that. So on the ARB, I showed her later, here, look what showed up, and I will test it out and make sure I know how to use it before. She goes, yes, please do. So anyway, that's fun. So anyway, all right. What else? Anything else?
I'm drawing a blank.
All right. How about membership?
Yes.
Don't forget, not only to make sure you subscribe with the bell notification turned on. That's all free stuff. But if you want to help support the channel, we do have membership.
Yes. It is that join button right beside the subscribe button. If you're an iPhone user, you're going to have to do things a little bit differently. Possibly. You'll go up to little a and big A in your desktop browser, request desktop website, and at that point you should be able to see it.
No. And of course, all that content, any membership content specific, it will be on the membership tab. You should also, if you have notifications turned on, you'll get notifications for everything as well. So we do a lot of fun stuff for the members. I'll try to do some posting when I'm on vacation. It's usually a lot of it's kind of about us and what's going on, things that I'm thinking about, and different things like that. So on Thursdays, we do a lot walk. And we kind of walk the lot. I have a couple times where I have it called a Tim Talk when there's a break in between showing you something on the lot. And so I usually have a couple things I'm thinking about. Sometimes I struggle with those and finding something, but there you go. And then we do a member live stream, which we'll do this week as well on Fridays at 4 p.m. Central. And it's just an hour of just kind of hanging out with the rest of the members, seeing what's going on. And sometimes they pop things in that I didn't know was happening, and we'll talk about it and bring things up. And I'll bring up things that happened since Tuesday. And sometimes we'll talk about that and then cover it. So sometimes I'll think I've already covered something. I'm like, oh no, I just talked about it with the members. I haven't told everybody about it. So anyway, that's one of the things tonight that I was like, oh yeah, I covered that already. Oh no, I didn't. It's the members that got that information. But it's always fun to do that, and so you're not missing out on anything if you're not a member. Don't feel like you got to pay to get all the content. A lot of the member content is about Sarah and I, and just a little bit more, background of the dealership and that kind of stuff more than anything. But there's still some things that, like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a video on this. What do you guys think? And that kind of stuff. So it's more brainstorming than anything. And so we like that close knit group to do that with. So if you want to do that, and of course in our live streams, we do shout outs.
Yes.
Too. So I know you're in there chatting with them, but
I am.
You got ready for some shout outs?
Yes.
All right.
All right. We have Ridgeview here. He is one of our moderators, and he is wonderful. He helps keep the chat going and greets everyone as they come in. We have KOFM. Hi, everyone. Ford Enthusiast. Good evening, all. Happy anniversary to Tim and Barbara.
30 years.
That's right. That means I turned 29 this year. We have Rob Homework. Howdy, y'all. Steve Young. Good evening, Ford fans. Ronald Smith. Good evening, Ridgeview. We have Mab Sim. Hello, everyone. Bucko and Ghost Stang say good evening. Alan. Hello, everyone. Great day today. Hope all is well for you. We have our Quib. Evening, you all. Buck, yeah. Hey, gang. Greetings from sunny Seattle. Mike M. Good evening, all. Hope you are well. We here near Knoxville are in our 7th straight day of rain, but life is good. We're in what?
Oh yeah.
Yesterday was straight rain the entire day.
I missed mowing. I had this window and I didn't mow. And now it's been raining. And for my yard,
Was your window the birthday party? It stopped raining just for the birthday party.
Yeah, it's in our yard. We have this hill, so if you can't, you got to let it dry out for a day at least. So I need it to stop raining so that I can. It didn't rain today, so the sun didn't come out either. So anyway, but yeah,
Right.
I need to get out and mow before we leave.
Yep. Blue Truck, good evening from Illinois. And S. Waltz, let's go. And that is who I had. Alan says the module for the fix on the PED sounder fault, the part was 2100.
Oh, the pedestrian sounder thing, the backup sounder. Part was 2100. It should have been covered under warranty, I think.
I mean, my car kept beeping at me. Do you remember that? I was like, man, it just keeps going off. I don't know what's wrong. Turns out they had to take my entire bumper off, and it took them half a day, but they finally found the mouse had chewed through the wire.
Crazy. All right. Okay. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Yeah.
All right.
Transition through things here. Let's see what else. We have. Don't forget about some of the different channels that we like to watch. I don't know if I totally missed Sunday. I was busy with stuff going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. All Train Nation. I don't know if they were live or not, but I totally missed it. So they did. Anyway, and then there's Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We have, of course, Bird Dog Off Road. I should connect with them and see if they're going to be around. People ask if we're going to see anybody. I'm like, no, we're just going on vacation. But who knows, you know? But so just thought this time it'd just be us and such, at least for the first part. This is our 30th anniversary type trip, so that'll be fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what else. We're concerned we can't fit all our clothes though in the camper. We're used to going for 5 days. This is 9. So we might have to put backup clothes in bags and leave them in the Bronco.
There you go.
It'll fit. All right, getting more and more stuff in the Bronco. All the recovery stuff in there and all, and you know, then you have the
getting worried it won't fit.
And then you have the chairs. Of course, I've said we probably what we'll do is we'll put our camp chairs. We'll probably put them in the actual camper and just leave them out. We're over there, whatever. But just put them in every day.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there you go. There's that. That off-road jack that will fit under the back seat, so I just put it under there.
Right.
But if you want to lay the seat down, then you lose it. You gotta move it. I don't know or put it then. Anyway, all right. What else we got here? Tag that one from Quinn.
I got it.
Yeah, tag that Quinn. We're gonna answer that because I think it's kind of funny actually. All right. It won't be ready. We're ready. Let me just tell you this. It won't be ready for a while. I'll let you know the date. I have that in my notes somewhere. It's gonna be a while. It's just kind of funny. Not really funny, but all right. Any other shout outs?
They were wondering where Niles has been at. He's kind of taken a step back. He's had some family stuff going on. So he's taken a step back from moderating.
Yep. You can always, of course, if you have any questions for him,
email
Niles lmp@gmail.com, right?
Or call the dealership and ask for our aftermarket department.
Yep. So, all right. Let's see what else here. Other than that, you got a good dealer moment, or?
I have one. It's just I need to pull it up.
Okay. Anyway.
But you didn't.
Speaking of Niles.
Yes, you did.
Speaking of Niles. And you know, if you see, every time we do that slide, Alan's in the background right there. So anyway, yeah. I got the Masters koozie. I like this. I don't have too many koozies that go and cover the whole thing. You guys
Yeah.
could probably actually see it. But yeah, so you can
Yeah.
figure out what's in Tim's cup there. But
I will note it's good things going on with family. They're having a baby, so he's taking a step back so they can do renovations and get stuff ready.
yep, they are expecting.
So it's good things going on, not bad family stuff.
Yeah. So
All right.
all right, we're gonna throw that up there.
All right, this one's pretty close to us. Laird Noller Ford. Ashton Orcutt was the sales associate. They are from Lawrence, Kansas.
Mm-hmm. They have a dealership in Topeka too. But
yes, but this was the Lawrence branch. All right, I ordered my 2025 from Laird Noller and asked them to match an offer I received from another dealer farther away. They gladly accepted without a deposit or asking me to come in and sign an agreement. My Maverick was one of the first 25s to land in the KC metro area, and I was able to pick it up the very next day. I was in and out fairly quickly. There were no surprises to what we had agreed on 4 months prior when placing the order. They also gave me a fair offer on my trade. I would gladly place another order there.
there you go.
So, yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
Onwards.
All right. Well, let's get into this. So I did a scheduling video earlier today, this evening, that should have went live. Hopefully it went live, right? You guys got a chance to see it. Anyway, not a lot of going on this week, but there were notes on what's going on for next month, which will probably start once I get back the week of the 9th. So the week, I mean, not next week, but the week after, we should be getting, should be going off of for those August build dates. And there's some good movement happening next month for sure. And this next month, not only in June for some of the new order banks opening up, but also for the production dates for August, there's some balance outs for a couple models. So I kind of talked about this. So we'll just do a quick recap of some of the things that we talked about earlier in that video, and then of course looking for your questions. So go ahead and tag any questions you have on scheduling from the video, or if you have any other questions for scheduling, then drop those down in there and we'll try to answer those. So while I'm going through this, grab those questions. We do have Mustang. So Mustang's not scheduling, Escape's not scheduling, mach-e is not scheduling, Explorer is not scheduling, and that's it. The rest of them are scheduling, and they'll say cleanup scheduling, which means that they're trying to, any dealer has an allocation, they want to fulfill that allocation. So a lot of times if they didn't get fulfilled, it means they didn't have retail orders. So at this point, it needs to be stock orders. So they need to fulfill those with that. And so a lot of times these notes, this is where these notes are for dealers, not necessarily for customers, of here's how to fulfill those allocations and use those. This is what we're needing, and this is what we can't do right now. And so that's kind of, some of those things in there. So, Bronco Sport, talking about what's exhausted, what's the best configuration, that kind of stuff. Most everybody probably scheduled their Bronco Sports already. Bronco as well, man. Bronco, they said that they need some 2-door base orders, Badlands with 2.7, Strop and Raptor. Now, to be honest, they shouldn't need any Raptor orders because every dealer that has a Raptor allocation should have an order in there. Really, that's all they need orders for, is for their allocations. So that probably means dealers that have allocations and they don't put their orders in there. They don't have them in there. So that means the dealer needs to put that stock order in there. And then exhausted availability for the 4-door base, Big Ben, the painted and shadowed black tops. And then I think the beadlock wheel that's, I believe, on the black appearance package. Sasquatch as well. So anyway, so there's some notes for that. Let's see what else. Maverick, Tremor looks like we're going to talk about it later. Tremor isn't scheduling this for this month or for July production dates. And then they really need some hybrid front wheel drive orders. We'll talk more about that in a second. Expedition, they're not scheduling any of the Platinum Ultimate package. And they're saying they can't order that either. They're balancing out that order, or not balancing out. It says not available for ordering, it says. So they're going to, for some reason, they're going to close. I don't know why you'd close it off unless you're going to balance it out, but I don't think they're going to do that yet. Let's see what else. Ranger, they exhausted on the 2.7 and the running boards, the black running boards. So anyway, so there you go. And they also only have 1 week the schedule of Rangers. So again, dealer needs an allocation. Super Duty is not too bad a shape. They're still scheduling for the balance out for 25 model year, and so they are constrained on a couple things. But I'll talk when we get to talking about August and the startup for 26. You'll be happily surprised for those with F450s, 25 F150. We do have their scheduling as well. They're very limited exhausted for their 2.7 liter heads up display and limited on the EcoBoost. They've 3.5 EcoBoost. And Lightning, it's pretty open up. They're only scheduled for 1 week, the last week of July. And Transit, they're scheduling as well. So there's kind of that. So on top of that, we did talk about what's going on for next month for the August production dates and everything. So order banks, here are some of the order banks that are opening up coming up in June. So the middle of June, like a week after I get back, the Escape and Explorer order banks both open up on June 16th, tentative dates, and Mustang is June 17th for 26 model year. So those are going to be opening up real soon. Also, Ranger Job 2 is going to be coming up as soon as well. And so there's that. Yes. Now, Ranger and Bronco will probably go, like a lot of people are thinking Bronco's already almost done for this model year. Well, they didn't start production until like February. So to be honest, they really just got started, in my opinion, or they're probably halfway. So their Job 2s on Bronco and Ranger's coming up. They're still going to probably produce into at least November, I would think. So anyway, so we probably won't see, the order banks for 26 will probably going to be later. Like they'll do the thing and they'll do a review in August, right? And talk about things in August, and they might open up the order banks August, September. September would be October, November. That may be about right. So probably, produced through at least October. But anyway, so there's that on the order banks. And then they're doing balance out because of those order banks opening up. They're balancing out the Mustang, the Escape plug-in, Explorer, Transit, and E-Transit for August. So they're balancing out. So that's going to be when they're going to do that. Now, I will say this, the balance out is going into, it's a 5 weeks. So it's going into September, like the first week of September. So it's not like all of September will be new production. And then Super Duty 26 model year will be startup in August, actually late July. So they're going to be scheduled for July 21 through 8/25. And I would say that's for the Kentucky truck plant. Ohio is actually going to be building 25 model year up until mid-August. So most of those August dates, that's going to be only like a week or two of the Ohio truck plant, if they even schedule any. So let's see what else. Everything else is good. Looks like mach-e plant will be down for 2 weeks, from what I can see here. Explorer, they will do balance out, but they're going to do 7 weeks of balance out because Explorer is going to build into the middle of September, almost 3 weeks into September, really. So, so there's that. And then also, of course, the specialties are going to run along with that. So anyway, other than that, on your U300 dealers, they are adding the XL Maverick now eligible for the U300s. What that means is that if you have a good COVP order and you have achieved 75% or better on name match, then the U300s will get allocations to help those orders that are put in there and COVP verified. It's supposed to help those smaller dealers make sure that even ordering from a small dealer won't affect you. Does say in here, just a reminder to those dealers, though, if you have one that's a 01 or 02 priority, if you make changes, you got to let them know so they can give it an 01, 02 priority again, because you got to take it out of that priority, because that's how it makes sure it schedules it and you get that allocation. So So the only thing that's not eligible for that program is the F450s at those small dealers, and no passenger transits as well. So those are two things that now that's all about that's left is that it doesn't have. So you have an F450 at a small dealership that doesn't have a lot of super allocation. You're probably going to be, you need to order with somebody else, in my opinion. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, it is what it is. Maverick XL was the same way. We had people that were like, why am I not getting scheduled? You're a small dealer. I had somebody that said, no, you're wrong, Tim. I can't believe you're saying that and telling people that, because don't forget about the U300. Well, Maverick XL didn't qualify until this month. That had just been added this month. So if you had a Maverick XL at a small dealer and they didn't have Maverick allocations, they still didn't get scheduled because that was not included. But let's see what else. We have a lot of questions or still needing. I got time to talk more.
We have some questions.
Okay, well, let me go over just a couple things in case that spurs on some questions. 25 model year Ranger, job 2. It says order bank should open up looks like July 7th. And here are some changes to the order guide for job 2. And the reason they're probably changing is they're having some issues probably with parts. So on the XL, now it says second row rear privacy glass will be standard, whereas before it was not. It was a no second row, it said. And on the addition of trailer brake controller as a freestanding option was not available before, and now it will be. And the Copilot 360 open to all XL orders, retail and fleet, whereas before it was a fleet only option for Copilot 360 on the XL. Now on the XLT 300A, the fixed rear glass will be standard with power sliding rear window as a freestanding option, which is before all you can do is get a manual sliding rear glass as standard. So anyway, so it's a fixed glass standard, basically taking away that manual sliding on the XLT. Wireless charger, 120 volts, the 400 watt in-cab and in-bed outlets and bed lighting become optional as a convenience package. So they're adding a convenience package now. Before it said the wireless charger, the outlets, and the bed lighting were standard equipment. Now they're going to be thrown into a package that you order. Lariat trim, halogen center high-mounted stoplight instead of the LED. So there must be having some issues with LED on that. Wireless charger, the outlets in the bed and the cab and bed lighting become optional as a convenience package. Before they were standard equipment on Lariat. So, and then no changes to the Raptor. So those are some changes for job 2 that you'll need to be aware of if you have an order in. Those could be some changes. So if you have an order and you were expecting some things that were standard and now they're in that convenience package, you'll want to make sure you make those modifications to your order after July 7th. That's when the order bank will open up for job 2. So you'll want to make sure you put that on your calendar and make those changes. We'll try to remind you as we get closer to those dates. 25 model year balance out for the Mustang. It does say in here, order bank will open up for 26 on the 17th. Order guide and price list will be available at that time for dealers. And then August balance out, we already talked about that. So there's not much new there. And what we already mentioned, 25 model year Escape balance out. So don't forget, we talked about the wheel on the Platinum that is going to be that is ending because of supplier issue. The Escape Platinum orders scheduled for July production and after are subject to the 19-inch ebony painted machine face aluminum wheel, replacing the 19-inch machine face aluminum with the dark tarnished painted pockets. That has been updated in the order guide. And so we do have those updates. And so there's that. So that wheel will go into 26 model year. So that will be the standard wheel for the Platinum in 26 model year as well. And speaking of 26 model year for the Escape, we did talk about that last week. So it's good. It's coming out. 26 model year. There is a note that came in as a communication. Actually, I was going to put that in the dealer news section, but they're the free green states. There's 4, 5, 6 green states that will not be able to, if you're registering in those states, get a 26 model year Escape. So if you're in California, Massachusetts, New York, Oregon, Vermont, or Washington, and you're registering in those states, it doesn't matter what state you order from, you're not going to be able to get a 26 Escape. Now, if you're in one of those states as a dealer, but the people that are registering outside of that state in a non-green state, then you can order one for them and put that order on there, except for Vermont, which cannot even order one at all. So that is a change for 26 model year that may impact a lot of states, especially states like, that sell really well on Escapes. That's gonna be a big one. Does say product offering changes. It says front wheel drive hybrid, ST line, and Platinum are no longer available for 26. Maybe I shouldn't go over these yet. Save these to the order guide. But this all-wheel drive hybrid is now standard powertrain, offering on ST line Select, ST line Elite, and Platinum. New lower base MSRP for plug-in, Platinum hybrid, and ST line Elite hybrid. New discount packages on plug-in, Platinum hybrid, and ST line Elite hybrid premium packages, and new Platinum wheel. And we talked about that. But so I probably just got myself in trouble for going over that. But there you go. There's that. All right, questions?
Yes. All right. Here it is. Update and question part 1. For the Canadian 2025 Expedition order, status showed built on May 16th with an ETA of 6/13 to 6/19. Today is May 27th. Is it normal for it to take this long from built to shipped?
Well, we know that the built to ship can be a little while. I still have an Expedition was built in February that has not shipped yet. I mean, it says it's got an ETA on it, but it's still sitting in Kentucky. At least it was last week. So on the Expedition is anytime there's a redesign, there is a lot of that issues of shipping things out in a timely manner. So plus, I just think there's a lot going on in Kentucky between the Escapes. You got Super Duties, and you have the Expeditions, and you have Navigators all built there, Corsairs. You have all those vehicles coming through that Kentucky area and right there. So I really think there's a bottleneck that happens on those. So that's not uncommon. We saw that with my Escape. 3 years ago it happened. It was 2 months before I got it from one that was built to actually arriving. So that on Expedition, it has been like our Super Duties. Some of those were taking a while to get to us. So, so is it uncommon? I guess my long version right there of saying, it could be. So,
right.
Built May 16th, and then ETA. Actually, that's just 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. So that's typical. Actually, it says built on May 16th.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry.
With an ETA of June. Let's say 16th is the middle date. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 month. That 4 weeks is typical to get from actual shipped. I always tell people figure a month after it's been shipped.
Right.
Because it usually can go from rail to about any place in about 2 weeks, but then also it's going to sit at those areas close to your dealers for about a week before being shipped. So I usually figure 3 to 4 weeks easily on most places, even when they're coming out of Kansas City. Like for us, they don't even go on a train in Kansas City. A lot of times we might see those in 3 weeks, but otherwise it's, I know Mavericks to Arizona, it's usually 2 weeks.
Right.
So it just depends where your location is to the plant.
Right.
So
and they're in Canada.
Yeah, and you're in Canada, so. Yep. And now we're probably having with Canada with the tariffs and everything, you probably have some issues there.
Probably want me to hold that one, right? The 26 Super Duty interior change.
There's not anything. This is not a refresh year. I know typically on the Super Duty, it's every 3 years we see a refresh. Every 6 years we see a next gen. That is not the case this year. I didn't get any confirmation on it, but they did show us some images on the Super Duty on a thing here. And they're not making a big deal about, if they were going to make a redesign or a refresh, usually you see a refresh grill, sometimes an interior, they will give it to media. They will show those off. They'll let dealers know ahead of time. Here's what it's going to look like. They'll make a big deal that, hey, it's a refresh. They'll make a big deal out of it. And since they didn't, and it just kind of like, whoop, here you go. Order bank opened up. I mean, just like that, like all of us were like, what already? There's no refresh or anything like that for this year. So we'll go over the rest of the information on what's new. We did a video, of course, on if you don't want to wait. We did a video on Friday that went through all the changes. And some I think were pretty good changes. Some package changes, a new package, some tech upgrades on the Super Duty. So anyway.
When do you expect 26 Mustang?
Okay, we just talked about that a little bit ago. What's this? The 17th, I think, of June is what it said.
Yep.
Yeah, the order guide will come out the same day that the order bank's open.
Okay.
They do not. We don't see anything early.
All right.
Nothing. I don't know why.
Thank you so much for answering. I'm scheduling a road trip right when the MAV is delivered. Can a fresh MAV do a road trip about 2,000 in a week? We have seen many of our customers come, like, for example, Ridgeview, and I think he answered your question, come here to pick up their vehicle and then drive it home.
California, Maine, Florida. See that a lot.
Oregon.
Yeah,
Washington.
These things are ready to drive. They're ready to go.
There used to be a break-in period. There isn't really such a thing on the newer vehicles.
Yeah, some people used to say that you shouldn't get on highway speeds for a month for like 1,000 miles, but no, it's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, what you should, I mean, a lot of times they say is you want to have a varying speeds in the first 1,000 miles.
Yeah,
so it gets really broken in or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean that's what you see, and
Yep.
You still get that. Usually if you take a road trip, you're not going on the highway the whole time. You're slowing down in cities and that kind of stuff. You're stopping off for bathroom breaks and that kind of stuff. So you should be all right.
Yeah. All Train Nation agrees. There is no break-in anymore.
ATN Off-Road. Now, I don't know if that's Dave and Kelly or if that's the B team right there. I think that's their channel now. That could be Jess and Mark right there. We should get confirmation of that. Allie's in here too. Oh, we got the whole All Train Nation gang. Uh-oh. I feel like I'm gotta be my best behavior here.
It's Dave.
Oh, it's Dave. Got to make sure I'm on my A game here.
All right. I've been waiting almost 19 months now for an F450. Oh, that wasn't a question. That was a statement. All right. And we answered that one. I think you're going to be pleased.
20. I mean, they're ramping up production in 26.
Yeah.
So, and actually, it's really they've been ramping up production of the 450s. I mean, it was 2% back in January. February, I think the production numbers was 2%.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 7% coming up in the startup. So that's good. We haven't had too many problems. Most of ours have scheduled. Maybe some of them took a little longer than I needed to, but I still think even like Paul, I don't know if he's in here, but his still got scheduled in a pretty, I mean, it was longer than what he probably wanted, but still was pretty adequate time when you look at the 450s and some people waiting, almost a whole model year to get theirs done, that kind of thing. So anyway.
All right. So are there only a certain amount of allocations for
chat showing up over here?
I don't know.
Is that new?
I don't know.
That's cool. All right. Go ahead.
It's still up.
Was that up earlier?
I don't know.
Huh. I don't mind it. That's fine.
All right. Are there only a certain amount? Oh, there it is. Show comments on stage.
That's cool. I don't actually mind that.
Well, if you look at our screen over there, look at where it shows up.
Does it show up here?
It shows up where that square is at.
This is fine.
Okay. Are there only a certain amount of allocations for Super Duties or as many as each dealer wants? So each dealer gets a certain amount of allocations per month given to them by Ford.
Yeah.
So yes and no. They can fulfill all of their allocations by place. Like if they don't have,
Yeah, they can't just
retail orders, they can place stock orders to fulfill their allocations, but they don't get more than that unless someone's backed out on allocations. Like a dealer says, "Oh, we don't need 10 Super Duties or 5 Super Duties on our lot because we have no orders." They can back out of those allocations, and then the region can find somewhere else for them to go.
Yeah.
So,
but they can't just order a bunch of, and that's what they're saying.
and
Like U300s,
you can place the orders. You're only going to get as many scheduled as you have allocations for.
Yep. So, and that's why, like I was saying earlier, their U300s aren't going to get extra F450s unless, so that's why, sometimes it is, about the bigger, if you, who does well with certain models.
Yeah.
And what I had said in today's scheduling video that I haven't said in almost 3 years is if you want to have a good idea of how well they sell a particular model, look on their lot. And really, I mean, I can't always necessarily say that because you think, well, if they sell them well, they wouldn't have that many. But if they have a good inventory of Super Duty F-150s, then they probably get a lot of allocations. Look at our lot. Think about it. We got a ton of F-150s out there, a ton of Super Duties. Look at our Mavericks that we have. Look at our Broncos we have. We get a good number of allocations on all those models, and we have a good selection of inventory. Something that we don't get as many, you don't see. Mach-E's. We only have a couple Mach-E's. One F-150 Lightning. We only get a couple of those. So it really kind of goes to that because they're going to keep selling them and they're going to keep replenishing their stock inventory with allocations. So if you want to have a good idea of how many allocations the dealer has in a particular model, look at their lot that should have some bearing in it. At least, and I don't go look at other dealer lots, so I don't know. But for us, I would say it kind of does dictate what our allocations are, is what our lot inventory is. But anyway, and maybe Allie's in here. Maybe she could say the same thing. And I don't know if she's, I know she's not a manager, and they may not share. I know our managers don't share allocation numbers with our sales staff, but she may have some knowledge of how they do on allocations versus, their inventory. But anyway, that usually, if they have a lot of vehicles inventory, that means they've gotten a lot of allocations.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's a good way of looking at it too.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. What else we got?
When does job 2 for Bronco start? And when it does that mean a price increase?
No, price increases don't always go along with job 2s because they'll always do price increases whenever they want. But knowing that Ranger job 2 order bank is 7.7, Bronco should go right along with that. And I don't know if there'll be any significant changes. Some models, it's usually not anything. Like Ranger, they had to do something evidently because of supply issues usually. And that's why they're making a big deal out of that. But if Bronco's not having any kind of supply issues, then there's no need to make a job 2 change. You don't have to put that up because it's not like they can see it over that.
Okay.
That's why I took it off. I'm like, they can't really see it over the little logo. So.
All right.
Which I don't really care if
someone said he liked it.
Oh, okay. If you guys can read it over that, then that's fine.
Let me go check something.
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, okay. This is what it looks like on my screen.
Yeah. So the first one you can't really read, but the others you can. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. It was there the whole time. I think that little slider was there.
They're beta testing it, and we have it, and it's cool.
Anyway,
we'll try it.
Now for replays on YouTube, on my YouTube, actually there is a checkbox that says for live replays, and so I always check mark that. It's always unchecked when I go into the YouTube settings. Once I schedule it in StreamYard, then I go over to YouTube and I make sure I check that because I do want people to be able to see the live chats. A lot of people don't know how to get to that, but because if you got to swipe the comment over if you're watching that as a replay. But anyway, so it's fun.
So Allie says we don't have exact numbers, but we normally get what we want. We are like you guys. We are light on EV, but F-150, Bronco Sport, Escape, Explorer, and Super Duty we have plenty of.
Yeah, see, we don't get a lot of Escape, but I've found a lot of Metro dealers sell a lot of Escapes. It really does. Like Wichita, they outsell us in Escape. They get a lot of Escapes. We don't get that many Escape.
I feel like Escape's more of a Metro thing.
we sell a lot more Bronco Sports than we do Escapes. So,
I feel like Escape's more of a metro area type of thing, while we have country roads and places. And
what can you get in an Escape you can't get in a Bronco Sport? Hybrid, plug-in.
Yeah.
Right? In those cities like
The
that,
metro.
they want the hybrids and plug-ins.
Again, the metro area versus the country area.
Yeah. People around here, we want a Bronco Sport. So anyway, although Ford will give us some many allocations if we want while we on the EVs, but anyway, but we stock what we need to for EVs to hit our numbers that we need for EVs. Not the way have people knocking down our doors.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see on Bronco. I haven't seen any information yet, but it should. I think Ranger was a little early in coming to that because usually they don't tell us that Job 2 stuff that early. Like, I'm really surprised they didn't wait to tell us Ranger stuff until the end of next month for the wholesale for next month, because that's not starting until July 7th. So Bronco will probably get some Job 2 changes coming up. And now I will say this, if there's Job 2 changes that affect what's in a package, then we could see a package go up or down. The price, like Ranger, we could see a price increase or decrease because some of those things are now going to be part of a package instead of standard equipment. So the price could go down or probably just stay the same and set up a price increase.
Right.
But anyway, I guess we don't really know that. So.
All right.
Anyway, any other questions?
The build week is July 14th for my F-150. How often do you see orders for F-150s get pushed out later or pulled in earlier from intended build date?
I don't really look at orders that often on that, but I've seen more be pulled forward because I'll see some that are like, hey, these just arrived and they aren't scheduled to be built. Originally, they were scheduled to be built like a month from now.
Yeah.
And so I see them more F-150s getting pulled forward. At least some of the special builds that we have, like our regular caps, they've been pulled forward a little bit. But yeah, I've seen it happen. I think somebody had said that they said that maybe it was them. Somebody commented on one of the videos I noticed where they said they had a July build date or a May or June build date, I think, and they were already in production. It said it was in production. And I'm like, well, there is a couple weeks of in production, but if you're in production now, then more than likely you don't have a June build date.
Right.
Not a mid-June. So anyway, I think that's what it was. But anyway, there you
go. When should I order a 26 to get a 26 built F-350?
Now.
Oh, the order banks are open?
Yes.
Oh.
Open Friday.
I wasn't here.
Thursday, actually.
I wasn't here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I missed a lot.
Yep. Order banks are open up for Super Duty.
We got the strop in. We got
2 strops in now.
We got 2 strops in. We got
one's available, one's not.
26 Super Duty opened up. What else have you not told me?
We don't know on the second
okay, when you're gone, I'm gonna make a list of everything that's changed since you've been gone. And I need you to start doing the same when I'm gone.
We got a new sales assistant. We got a new aftermarket manager guy, and
that happened before I left.
Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, all
right. Ghost saying I'm going to save your comment or your question until later since it doesn't pertain to this. The LED taillights on the Platinum, do they still have the yellow turn signal like they did in the 22 model year?
Wow. I don't know.
Is that F-150?
The LED taillights on the Platinum.
Or Super Duty?
I think they're talking about Super Duty. Yellow turn signal that they did. Well, 23 is a redesign year, so that's where it could have changed. But I don't know. Allie
says she right. He said Super Duty.
Said Super Duty. Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
I don't know.
You're getting to know the current ones, but at the same time, you're not looking at the vehicles every single day. Yeah. Allie's looking at them every single day. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
maybe she's not. I don't know.
The yellow turn signal. I think they they do, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they all are yellow, aren't they? I think they have to be, right? Not white. I mean, they wouldn't blink white. They'd blink yellow, right?
I have no idea.
They should. Anyway, all right.
Allie doesn't know either.
Don't know.
Stumping the dealers here.
There you go.
All
I think
right.
they're probably the same. I mean, I know that the headlights are a refresh or a redesign in 23 from 22.
Yeah.
But I think that they're still going to be blink. They're still going to blink yellow for turn signal. So all
Okay.
right. But no confirmation for sure because I don't want to say anything that might be wrong. So that should
Turn signals are yellow. Clay says I switched mine out for Morimoto, which is red, but yes, they were yellow on the 21. And Allie says she left work 3 hours ago.
All right.
Alrighty. Onward.
Onward. All right. Dealer news updates. Actually, some of these we already kind of went through. So now on the EVs, if you elect to get the charger promotion, now instead of the dealers taking care of that, you get a coupon code. Now it looks like for the Power Promise promotion. So that's a change, which we kind of talked about something like that last week, I think. And then also, so it's to say, let's see. Here's a little update here. It says owners of 24 and 25 model year F-150 Lightning and Mach-E vehicles who charge with the Ford Charge Station Pro, that's the 80 amp one, may encounter an intermittent charging fault. This issue may occur when the charging schedule is active and the vehicle is connected before the scheduled start time, potentially preventing the vehicle from charging as expected. Well, that wouldn't be cool. Ford is working to resolve the issue with an over-the-air update for the Ford Charge Station Pro. So there you go. So that's an update there. So a couple things there. And then we already talked about the Escape and Corsair in those states. So if you are in one of those, they're called the green states, then you will not be able to order, or if they're registering in one of those states, you will not be able to get a 26 model year Escape. So that's kind of a big deal. So there you go. And I kind of mentioned those states earlier, right? Or did I? I think I did. California, New York, Vermont. What were they? Massachusetts, Oregon, and Washington. So those states there, if you live in one of those states, you cannot register one. You cannot buy one. 26 model year Escape. So crazy. And that includes plug-in, which is crazy. Hybrid and plug-in. So it includes them all. Now, if you're a dealer like us, that or you're registering, if you're in one of those states, except for Vermont, and the customer is outside of that state, they're registering it outside of that state, then you can order one, and you have to put the special code in as an option code. So you want to make sure you add that to your orders. But there you go. And then I think that's it for dealer news updates, other than some order guide updates that I've been wanting to tell you guys about. I finally went through them and got some updates on some things. So remember on the F-150, I was telling you, Sarah, that Sirius XM, that there wasn't even listed on the order guide for the F-150. So on the 8th, because I actually contacted the brand manager on the F-150 and said, Sirius XM is not listed anywhere. What is availability for it? Is it standard? Because I was told if it's a Sync 4 system, then Sirius XM gets the hardware and you get 3 months.
Right.
That's what I was told. They had told me it was XLT 302A and above. That means XL and STX did not get it. So they updated the order guide and included the Sirius XM as a standard option on XL. So I was kind of right. But anyway, so it should be standard equipment on all vehicles. So there you go, Sirius XM with the 360L. And then also they updated and changed the wording on the Lariat seat to say Active X trimmed instead of ActiveX seating material. Whatever that means. And then some dealer installed options they made some changes on. The ash cup with a lighter, like anybody orders it, but if you do, that was changed. It said it's not available with the bench seat or the Pro Power on board, 7.2 kilowatt. So that is something. And also, I believe it's not available with the Power Boost either on the King Ranch and Platinum. And so before that was listed on the wrong option. It was under the coin tray.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. The coin tray is just a thing that sits in there. So they had it listed on the wrong one. And then also the bed hooks, they removed the wording not available with the Super Crew 5.5 foot box. So that bed hooks, I don't know why it wouldn't be, because they just go in the back corners. So anyway, so that's the change they made to the order guide on the 8th. And then on the 15th, where is it? They added the STX wheel that we talked about last week, that 20-inch alloy dark carbonized gray wheel. They added that to the wheel page because that'll be optional on the STX 200A, right? So they added that on there to that. So those are some changes, things we kind of knew about, but those are changes they updated the order guide. So and I didn't look and see if there was any order guide update changes since last week. So oops, usually they happen the beginning of the month. So so we'll see. That'll probably happen. We'll go over those next live stream. Not next week. We won't have a live stream, but the week after. All right. That's it for that.
All right.
And I didn't even put up the slide. Oops.
All
All right. Recalls. There's only a couple of recalls. Any questions before we get into that?
Nope, we didn't have any.
All right. All right, we got a couple recalls here. One of them, this in here, is a compliance recall. This is an advance notice for compliance recall 25C17 for 25 model year Maverick vehicles. And this involves 63,706 vehicles. If you don't think the plant makes a lot of Mavericks, this is for 25 model year, the current model year. They've already built 63,706. Anyway, all affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by S19.2.2 of the Federal Motor Vehicle Standard, which is number 208, occupant crash protection. The passenger airbag disable indicator lamp may become dislodged from the instrument panel bezel, preventing the indicator from being visible to the driver and or passengers. This is a do not demonstrate or deliver. We don't like hearing that as dealers. That means we can't sell a 25 model year Maverick at this point. Here's the bad part. It says a complete dealer bulletin will be provided to dealers the third quarter of 2025. That means we won't be able to sell a 25 model year Maverick that's on this recall. Not the ones, basically it was ones built between April 20, basically all the way up until April 25th of this year. So the only Mavericks will be able to sell the ones that were built after May 25th of this year, which none of the ones that we have in stock were built after that. That sucks. Yeah, owners of letter, they'll be notified third quarter. I hate that. So you want a 24 model year? We can sell those. All right. Next one is a safety recall 25S55, an advance notice that certain 2025 model year F-150 Explorer Transit vehicles equipped with 3.3 liter and the 3.5 liter engines. Right. This in here affects only 153 vehicles. So too many vehicles. And some of the affected vehicles, improperly machined connecting rods may have been installed in engine assemblies. This may result in a failure of the connecting rod bearing bolts or the connecting rod cap, any of which may lead to engine failure and a loss of motor power. A loss of motor power will increase a risk of a crash. This is also a do not demonstrate or deliver. Yay. On that one. And then we don't know. It does say in here a complete dealer bulletin will be provided to dealers when parts ordering and repair instructions are available, with no timeline on that. And so there you go. So we don't know. All right. Another safety recall. 25S53. This is another advance notice for 2016 and 2017 model year Explorers. So this is actually 490,538 vehicles. Again, this is for older Explorers. In some of the affected vehicles, customers may experience partially or fully detached B-pillar trim appliques on the driver and front passenger doors. I've seen this on a lot of vehicles, actually. Customers may visually notice the B-pillar trim applique separating from the top of the front doors when entering and exit the vehicle, and or hear wind noise and rattling noise as they drive. The B-pillar trim appliques may detach while driving, which could flip back and hit somebody else. Do not demonstrate or deliver. I don't think anybody has a 2016 or 17 on their lot, but there you go. And owners of record will be notified once parts are available. Another one, safety recall 24S76, and this is supplement number 1. So this is an update, and the update on this one was they changed the build date range that now affects some 25 model years. So this is for 23 to 25 now model year F-150 Lightning vehicles, and I think we talked about this. I guess this say February 4th. It's been a while. 41,423 vehicles are affected, and some of the affected vehicles, the nut on the ball joint, which secures the upper control arm to the knuckle assembly, may be loose or missing. This can result in separation of the front upper control arm from the front knuckle assembly. Separation of that could may result in a loss of directional control, increasing the risk of a crash. This said here, owners of owner letters are for the added population of vehicles will be mailed the week of June 9th. Everyone else should have gotten theirs February 10th. So there you go. There's those. Wow. That Maverick one's going to be a killer. We were doing so good too. I don't know how we were doing, but I mean, we've been selling the heck out of those Mavericks.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so there's that. All right. There you go. Any questions on that?
I don't think so. Oh. If built after date, will it be sellable?
Yes. Anything built after April 25th. Yes. Because basically they figured it out around that time. So they knew what was wrong and they were able to fix it on anything built after that.
Right.
So anything built like in late April, like after the 25th, and then in May, this month, they're going to be able to be shipped. So anybody that has one on order, they're going to be good. But yeah, anything basically, it's going to most of everything that won't be sellable, the ones that are sitting on dealer lots, because most of the customer ones are going to be, they should have taken delivery of theirs, and then they're driving theirs. Again, that's the one thing that's frustrating is, so if you have one, go ahead and drive it. You're good to drive it.
Yeah.
But if it's on a dealer lot, nope. Nope. I'm like, if you're that concerned, shouldn't the people that are driving there be concerned too? Anyway, so there's that.
Let's see. Do you have an is it true?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Because Snow Lover, we'll get to your question.
Yep. Real shortly. Yep. All right. Let me do the is it true. All right. So for is it true this week, I had this. I saw some things on the Bronco Sport forum that popped up, and I don't know. Actually, I haven't read the article. I should have read the article.
Hold on, one moment.
I don't know what's going on. I'll just keep talking because I don't like that air on the podcast because it's going out as a podcast. But there we go. I think she's opening doors. She's letting somebody in. So, all right. Hi. You joining us on the live stream?
Yeah. Gotta go say hi. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So I thought maybe we bring her in for our is it true?
Oh yeah.
Since it's Bronco Sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can let me know when you're ready.
I'm a little nervous here. So Bronco Sport. So this came out on the Bronco Sport. I don't know. From Car Scoop, showing what they think the Bronco Sport's going to look like over here. And they kind of showed some images of theirs that's all batched up. But they saw this not in the United States, but driving around in China. So the question is if that'll be something that we'll see or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and not all the pictures are showing up, but there we go. So I don't know if that is. They said it looks like up in the front that it's kind of like blocked off, like that's an EV of some sort.
It could be Europe only.
Yeah, that's what my take is on that. So a lot of people are thinking that's coming here, and just like with the Ranger, not everything comes here. The Ranger Super Duty is not coming here, so not everything will not automatically come here. So I think we shouldn't overreact, and you can see that looks much different.
There's the pony. Your Bronco pony on the.
Yep. So, and I don't even know if they have a Bronco Sport in China right now, but
They could just be working on.
they could be working on a version
Software.
just for there, because I don't know. Anyway, so but that console looks much different. So I'm not sure that's I think picture of the lower control arm and stuff, or upper control arm, but tail lights there, and putting the tire in the back. A lot of people were like, "Oh, they moved the tire instead of underneath. They moved it."
It looks like a European version of the Bronco.
Onto the back. Well, and the other thing they're saying is that maybe you can't get a hybrid on this yet, right? We talked about that until it's off-road capable.
Mhm.
Well, they're saying if they move the spare tire to the back like this, then you could fit the hybrid battery in there where the tire was, and then you don't lose any off-road capabilities.
Ah,
So,
yeah.
Anyway, that's all I had. I don't know whether or not that's a version that's coming, but we still have a couple years before a redesign, because we just had a refresh happen. So it'll probably be a couple more years.
Yeah. We surprised you.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. We don't need to message Barbara in the chat when she's in the studio.
True story.
Happy anniversary, both of you.
Yeah.
Allie says hi.
So we kind of joked that we could have her on, and then people could ask questions about me, and she would answer them. But I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
I don't think I'll swear on a Bible before I answer them.
So, yes. So anyway, so
Yeah.
how's your day going?
It's been
Yeah.
busy.
Been
Lots
busy?
of little boys.
A lot of little kids.
Yeah.
No kids now though, so you're bored.
Kids. It works.
So
Gotta get ready for your trip.
Yeah, I've been to the store.
yeah.
I got all the stuff. We're good.
Oh,
We're ready.
good. So yeah, looking forward to it. So be a fun trip, and yeah. So 30 years, 3 decades. Stuck with me.
When
Anyway,
you guys met, did you have a Ford?
did I have a Ford? No.
You had a Dodge Challenger.
I had a Dodge Challenger.
Really?
85.
It was old.
An 85 Dodge Challenger. Back then they were smaller.
Okay.
That was in 1994. So it wasn't that old. 1985 wasn't that old.
Yeah, I had an 85 that I bought right when I had that in college. So, and then I got a new Dodge. What was that? I can't.
Charger and Challenger.
No, it wasn't a Charger Challenger. What was that?
A 2-door.
Yes, it was a 2-door coupe.
That's why we got rid of it. 'Cause we had to get-
Yes. Yeah.
Was it a purple van?
No, that was later.
No,
Must
but
have.
that's what I remember. That was the first vehicle I remember.
Yep.
Is the purple van, and lawnmower hit a rock and it threw it into the window.
I don't remember anything.
You had like a garbage bag over the window. That's the only reason I remember.
Well, I don't remember that. No, we've been through a lot of cars, a lot of old cars,
A lot
and
of cars.
and then I remember, when I first started here, it was one of the things was that at least we could have one new car,
Yes.
and that was the one that we always took out of town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Newer car.
Yeah.
Back then, it always wasn't a brand new one,
Mhm.
but and then for a while we ran, some used ones for you kids to learn to drive in. So
True
I
story.
remember Lincoln Zephyr we had.
I remember that. I remember you saying that you were going to keep that, and that's what I was going to learn to drive on, and then you didn't keep it.
Yeah, and we got some Fusions. Went through a couple of new Fusions that were on cheap leases.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we've been through as many cars this year.
Right.
Just about.
Easy enough to say.
Yeah.
So how are you liking your new Expedition?
I love my new Expedition. I
You
just
might-
feel like I need to go to flight school in order to be able to handle the control panel.
Yes, right.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And then I know the other day you were having, I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it, but you were having little issues with the cruise control, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other people that will have issues with that too.
Yeah. It wasn't
So-
fun because it wants you to drive like this, and I drive like this.
Yes, because that sensor's right in the middle.
Oh.
And then I was covering it, so it like slammed on my brakes, and it made me really mad.
I keep mine down.
It didn't like that. You have to drive like this.
Yeah, because that sensor is right in between. So if you like to drive with your hand on the top,
So I'm gonna keep my C-Max.
Yes. Yes. It's a
so
lot.
yeah, so it'll
So-
tell you you're not looking at the road because it can't see your eyes.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure it can see your eyes. Yeah. So anyway,
It'll be all right. We'll get along.
So, which Bronco event do you look forward to most?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Maybe Colorado. I don't know. They're all good.
Yeah.
Tennessee and Colorado are my favorites.
I think Tennessee we do a lot more of chatting with people and seeing people. Whereas Colorado, it's more we're still hanging out with people, but we're off roading more. So
Different strokes for different locations.
yep.
Exactly.
So but yeah. Anything else? Any questions there?
Ragnar says ahoy, mateys. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Mike M says that they've had 37 cars in 43 years.
Holy cow.
I don't know how many we've had.
I don't want to count.
I don't. So anyway, yeah, I will say we almost didn't get the 25 expedition. We were contemplating. There's nothing wrong with their 22. We debated on that. So
Still haven't signed papers.
we still have.
Could
Yeah,
give it back.
We supposed to. He said get ready in the morning, but yeah, I don't know. You know, it's like just it's when when you don't have to buy one, it's a little different. So I mean, a lot of times,
Yeah.
of course, a lot before we didn't have to, but I like to refresh them every 3 years. And
Yeah.
warranty's running out. Let's get a new one. And you put a lot more miles on this in 3 years than we did last one, though.
Yeah.
So
Here, there, and everywhere.
So RagnarCon says, "Hey, look, a new person. My powers of visual perception leads me to believe the new person is in some way related to Sarah."
Sarah is my mini me when it comes to
Yeah.
looks. Yep. Maybe personality too.
I have told Ebo, I'm like, okay, so you want to know what I'm going to look like? Look at my mom. If you want to see further in the future, look at my grandma.
Yes.
And even further, look at my great grandma.
this is a big treat for people because I'm really surprised you were willing to come on because I know that
I had my hair did.
She did.
I know that a lot of times even photos you're like don't take my picture so and
The camera's adding at least 50 pounds tonight. Oh, yeah.
and then sometimes I'll do videos just like don't you didn't get me did you
Yeah. It's 30 years. Happy anniversary. Once in a lifetime view.
right
So they're wondering how many years you've been a teacher.
30. 29-ish, 30-ish, but I taught when I was in college too. So technically, if you ask my brother, I've been teaching since I was about 5 and in kindergarten learned to read. Then I came home and made him learn how to read too. So just a couple years.
so you we got married and you were senior well your last year of college
Mhm.
when we got married so we got married in May and you finished up basically one more
The
year
following year.
the following year
Yep.
so anyway and I had just finished so
Yep.
anyway
And we had Sarah the September after I graduated.
I mentioned I turned 29 this year.
Yes. Darn, now I can't claim that.
That was a long-standing thing. You were
Yeah.
29.
With a couple anniversaries of that birthday.
Yep.
Can everybody hear okay? Nobody's saying they can't hear.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to keep you from your show. I just thought I'd stop in and say hi. I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah. We'll wrap this up so I can get home for dessert.
Here you go.
Nice cheesecake. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Goodbye.
All right.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Good. All right.
Good to keep him on his toes.
Yep. Well, we talked about it, but we never really said anything. So there you go. Anyway. All right. So moving on, we can talk about Super Duty at this point. And then, yeah, Super Duty.
All right.
26 Super Duty. So hopefully people still stuck around for that. All right, let's get into Super Duty.
Ragnar Khan said, next week on Tim's live stream, Sarah's siblings. He won't be here, so let's do it. He's not going to be here, so I'm going to bring in my brother.
If you could figure out how to schedule the stream, I'd be really impressed.
You showed me how to
You
do
know how to
it.
use StreamYard because you've been doing your own podcast, but they're all recorded.
I can still record something and post it as a premiere.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
All right, on with it. What we were talking about.
They asked what watch month tonight. Which one is it? Hold on, let me get my glasses.
While you get that, I'm gonna go lock the door.
Oh, my deep blue. I really like this one. So it's a dive watch, and even has a little thing over here. So if you, not that I go down in water, but yeah, it's a dive watch. So I really like it. So anyway, all right. And I have a tendency when I go on trips, I'll wear a different watch each day. Like I never wear the same watch.
I love how you had to put on your glasses to tell what color it is.
Well, I couldn't see the name of it because I couldn't remember the name.
Oh.
Anyway, but yes, I did buy a. I should have a couple of Bronco watches coming. So I'll tell you what, Instagram ads, they figured it out. They're ingenious because I buy so many things off of Instagram ads. And so a couple of watches came by and I'm like, oh, okay. Because I hadn't seen a Bronco watch. And so I got, they're not real expensive. So they're probably, I do like automatic watches because I don't have to worry about batteries dying and replacing batteries, but they are not automatics. So, but I did see Ford, I think Original Grain makes some Ford inspired watches that are automatics, but they're like $300. And I'm not interested in spending
I saw
money
Disney
on
was
watches.
making Stitch watches. And they're by Pandora, and I looked at them. They're $500. I'm like,
I'd have to sell watches. If anybody wants any watches, I got a ton that I would probably sell, but they'd all need batteries. All right, we get into this because I already put the clip up, and the people that are here, they're going, "Why are we talking watches instead of this?" But this is all right.
Redo it.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so talking about the Super Duty, order banks did open up last Thursday. Order guides came out Thursday as well. I did get a chance to kind of look at it Thursday and finally had the video go live Friday on the Super Duty changes. And I'm going to need to put my these on, man. Eyes are really tired. All right. Now, Super Duty will retain its best-in-class towing, payload, horsepower, and torque for this year, for 26 model year. So they're saying they retain that best-in-class for those on those numbers. And there are some major changes in here. Now, one of the things that talking about, some people asked this about the build and price and such. So it does say the order bank opened up on the 22nd. It does say in here that 5/28, the 24 model year Ford.com sell down page will be live. So I'm not sure what that means on Ford.com. And then scheduling will begin it says 6/12 to 6/19. Is when scheduling will begin for the 26 model year. And then it says 8/12. August 12th is when the 26 model year will be on Ford.com build and price. I'm sorry. That's just unexcusable, in my opinion. I'm like, so people can order a 26 model year now, but you're going to wait 2.5 months to have it on your build a price on your website. So go to your dealers to figure out how to order these. And that's why the videos that we have will be very valuable. Watch in August, that'll come out and my videos will be like old news by then.
Right.
And so anyway, we'll have to do a video when that goes live to tell them to go check our videos out. But we're going to have videos and we will do things a little differently because of that. So this year's videos, we're going to cover each of the different trim levels, and we'll cover the standard equipment, and we'll cover colors, and we'll also cover the packages that are in those. Plus, also, we'll probably cover the packages that are exclusive to those trim levels, but also maybe some more popular packages too, like the 360 cab package and FX4. But those other packages that maybe are less orderable and a lot of people don't order, I may not include that. I don't know. I was going to do an optional equipment separate video that went over standalone options and put some of those packages in there. But I haven't decided whether or not we're going to do it that way or just slide all the packages in all the other videos too. But all right. Now let's talk about some things that are major changes and what's different for this year. So for this year, you can get a 2-wheel drive is standard on XL, XLT, and Lariat trim. That was different than last year. You could not get a 2-wheel drive on the Lariat trim. So this year you can. So that is an update. Also, Super Cab 148-inch wheelbase. It will be available this year. So that is also a new change to the configurations available there for you. I did notice the engine prices did go up about $500 on all of them. So the 7.3 liter, where it's not standard, is $1,500 now. The 6.7 liter diesel, where it's not standard, where it's an option, is $10,995 instead of $10,500. And then the 6.7 high output is now $13,500 more. Or costs to go up to that. So those did change in prices. Most of the package prices did stay the same. I'll go over those in a second. We have deleted colors for this year will be antimatter blue and darkened bronze. So a lot of people are not real happy about that because they like both those colors. Those are going away. And iconic silver will only be available for fleet. So in a sense, that color's going away as well. And argon blue and marsh gray are going to be new colors. Now, we know what marsh gray looks like. We see that it's available on the F-150 now, but argon blue is a new color. I don't know what it looks like. Ford hasn't showed any images. None.
Yeah.
There's some images in some of these here, but I don't think they show colors. So we don't know what it looks like. And we probably won't know until August 12th. I might see if the brand manager will send me an image or something. It'd be really nice. Anyway, so that's that. Tire pressure monitoring system was standard equipment on almost every configuration last year, except for 450. This year, the 450 gets the tire pressure monitoring system as well, TPMS. So there you go. Now, I did mention in the video there's the keypad entry. So Ford has listened. In 25 model year, it's all a dealer installed option on every Super Duty, no matter what trim level, even the Platinum. It's a dealer installed option. It's a stick-on keypad that you program. You do have to use the FDRS tool to program that. Now, for 26 model year, they're going back to the Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum, as well as XLT Premium package equipped, will get the keypad on the B-pillar integrated in like it was. But XL and standard XLT, it's still a dealer installed option. Like it is this year. So that is the change they made. So there you go. But they are options. Both of those are still options. So even the keypad isn't standard equipment. It's an option you need to make sure you select. So make sure you are aware of that. And then let's see what else. There's a lot of new accessories. Oh, here's a new standalone option. So Sirius XM with a 360L. That is available, I think, on XLT. Premium and above, if I remember right. I don't know if I have it in my notes here. I don't know what to say. Yeah, XLT Premium Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum gets a Sirius XM with a 360L. And then you can get a standalone option for a 3-year plan of Sirius. So instead of getting a subscription through Sirius, you can add the standalone option to your order. It's $300, and you get it for the 3 years. Let's do our math.
Right.
$300 divided by 36 months.
Right.
33 months, because you get 3 months for free. So you're $10, you're less than $10 a month. That's a pretty good deal. Anyway, so that's going to be an option for this year, which is kind of cool. And then the Ford connectivity package that we did see on the Expedition, and we see that on the mach-e as well for 25 model year, is now coming to the Super Duty as well for this year. So here are the differences between them, though. There is a Ford connectivity package that's standard equipment on the XL and XLT, and that will include just your unlimited Wi-Fi hotspot. So that's what you're going to get with that. Now, the Ford connectivity package on Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and XLT Premium will also get the other features of the Ford connectivity package that we expect, like the connected nav, the video audio streaming, the entertainment, and the voice assistant. So that will be what that looks like. So that's what that's going to be. Now, if you want to do, there will be an option. You'll get 1 year included, just like it is on the Expedition and the mach-e. If you want a 7-year, you can add that to your order. So it's going to be $745, I think, for a 7-year plan. I believe that's what that costs. So that is something that's new for this year. And another new package for this year is a Lariat Premium package. So they've taken the Lariat Ultimate package and they basically have split up the equipment into 2 packages. There's a Lariat Premium package and a Lariat Ultimate package. So if you add the 2 together, which to get the Lariat Ultimate package, you have to get the Premium package. It's the same cost as it was last year for the Ultimate package. But for those that don't want some of the other stuff of the Ultimate package, you can save yourself $2,800 because that Premium package is $2,200. And we'll go over what's in those packages. Also, the STX appearance package is now available on the F350 dually. Was not available last year. And they also lowered the price by $2,000, but they also took things away. And again, we'll go into those features and what was removed from that in just a second. XLT premium package, customers have asked that we want that. We won't have to require the black appearance package. So they listened, and the black appearance package is no longer a requirement to get the XLT premium package. So if you want a chrome look, you can still get the premium package equipment. So that's I think a good thing that they did. Something did to the Tremor off-road package. A couple notes on this. One is you can get the 6.7 liter diesel engine, the standard diesel engine. You can now get that on the Tremor package. So you can get the 7.3, 6.7, or the high output 6.7 now for this year. So that's a great plan because that allows for people that want the diesel, but they have to wait because that high output is a low capacity. They don't have to. They can go with the other 6.7 and be good. Also, though, keep in mind it will be a late availability on the XLT and the Lariat trim. And then unless you get a Lariat with the premium or the ultimate package, then it'll be available at the launch. But otherwise, it's a late availability for all XLTs and standard Lariats that want the Tremor package. So that may be something to note. Also, lane departure warning was removed from that package, but they did add with that package, they did add trail turn assist. Believe it or not. I'm really surprised they added that to that big truck. They didn't, the trail turn assist, but that has been added to that package as well. So anyway, and then a bunch of DIOs were added, which you know how I feel about DIOs. Chrome tubular running boards as a DIO. Why can't the factory just put that on? Also a black tubular running board as well. Jump Start by NOCO. That is a new DIO with a case. They are working with, looks like Real Truck Advantage because they do have a hard rolling truck bed cover, as well as a soft roll up truck bed cover by Real Truck. They're working with Tough Skin to get the tailgate letters, a matte black and a carbon fiber option. I don't think it's available on King Ranch and Platinum though. I can't remember. We'll look at that. Windshield sunshade by Covercraft, as well as a Super Duty toolkit by Alltrade. That's a DIO. And then illuminated front emblem like they do have on the F-150. That's coming as well as a DIO. And then the kicker subwoofer on certain trim levels. So there you go. There's some of the major changes right there. So so let me go over this real quick as you're collecting questions. The STX appearance package, like I said, it's $2,000 less now. And you can get it now. You can get it except for it has to be 4x4. Cannot get it on F450. And they removed the F250 greater than 10K GVWR package from that. They also removed a 360-degree camera package from that. But both of those are available as standalone options. So it's not like it's lowering the price, but then you just pay for those packages. Also, something else that they removed from that is the auto high beams and the Bliss with cross-traffic alert. And those are both available. Well, the auto high beams is available anyway in the driver assist package. So if you're wanting that, still can't get the Bliss though. So it looks like they've basically removed the option of having the Bliss on the XL trim. Tie down plates has been removed. The rear parking sensors, the reverse brake assist, the LED box lighting, and the upgraded interior door panel. So they really made it more of an appearance package, really, because when you look at it, you're still getting the front bumpers, you're getting the cloth seats, you're getting the carpet flooring, you get the LED fog lights, reflector lamps, LED reflector headlamps, I should say, the painted grille, the badging, the black wheels, the tires. They really made it basically an appearance package, and not really some of those other features were some convenience and safety features that they've kind of taken out of that package. So there's that. XLT premium package. That package went up by $450, I believe, or $400 from what it was last year. No longer requires a black appearance package, but they did add like I mentioned, the Ford connectivity package, where you get all the features from the Ford connectivity package. That's an upgrade, as well as they added all your LED stuff: LED box lighting, LED center-mounted stoplight, LED fog lights, and LED reflector lamps. That's all now included in that package. So there's your upgrade in cost right there. So, and then as we mentioned, the Ford connectivity package, we already talked about. And so if you want to know, the Lariat premium package, $2,250, does include your Ford Copilot 360 Assist 2.0 that was in the Ultimate package. That's the adaptive cruise. That gets you the auto high beams, the Bliss with crash traffic alert, front sensors, rear sensors, lane keeping, intersection assist, the pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, post-collision braking, the rear view camera, reverse parking assist, I already mentioned, reverse brake assist. Also gets a lane departure warning. You get platform running boards. So, power deployer boards are part of the Ultimate package. So you get the platform running boards on the premium package. Power sliding rear window with defrost and privacy glass, the Pro Trailer Backup Assist and Hitch Assist, and trailer reverse guidance. So all the techie stuff is part of that premium package. And so then when you go, the Ultimate package is $2,825. That requires that package. Also requires the bucket seats. So you can get the premium package on the Lariat without going to the bucket seats. So if you want that bench seat on the Lariat and you want some of those other features like the adaptive cruise and all that, great, you got the premium package. So I think it's a good smooth move what they did there. And then this Ultimate package, there's where you get the power boards, you get the tailgate step, which tailgate step, by the way, is a standalone option. So if that's something that you're like, well, I don't want to go all the way to Ultimate package just for that, great, it's a standalone option. Power boards also, I believe, is a standalone option. You get heads-up display, the B&O Unleashed with 14 speakers, and the 4-way adjustable head restraints. So I think this is good because you save yourself $2,800. And if you want the tailgate step, you can do the premium package, add tailgate step. I think power boards as well as a standalone option, I'd assume. But anyway, so there's that. But anyway, all right. I think I covered everything because I already talked about the changes to the Tremor package. It did go up $50, but you get the trail turn assist, lost and lane departure warning. So there's a kind of a one versus the other. So there you go. All right. I think that's it. So now I'm ready for questions. Anything on that?
We have some.
Okay.
All right. Have we seen any spy shots of the 26 Super Duty, or no idea, or have an idea of what the new blue looks like?
Okay, so let me show you this. It's not a spy photo, but Ford on today's call did give us some indication of what it might look like. I mean, it doesn't look any difference. I mean, now we don't know that blue, right? Actually,
Why do they keep releasing the new blues on the Super Duty? If you consider Glacier Gray a blue, which I do.
this is what I wanted. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, all right. So, sorry. Here it is. Might remove that. You can see that. Anyway, so there is this note that I really shouldn't be showing you, but there's the truck, and you can see they listed that. They're showing it with 26, changes and everything. but I can't tell what color that is or anything. And then there's the images that they gave us. So it even shows a Lariat premium package over here on the left. I don't know if you can see that, but and then there's a dually there. So I mean, but we don't see any colors. It looks like it's black and such. So again, these are probably images I'm not supposed to show you, but they're not really showing us. That's about anything that I've seen. Other than that, they haven't given. I asked for stuff for media, and they haven't given us anything. So no real, nothing really that they showed us.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can look up media.ford.com and see if anything's been posted, but I don't think so. Yeah, nothing there that's fresh and new. So it is really weird because a lot of people assumed we'd have a refresh this year because it's usually 3 years refresh, 6 years we have a redesign. That's the way it's been for the Super Duty since I think it probably started, but not for this year.
Right.
So anyway,
if I ordered a 26 Super Duty from you, can I get free merch?
Free merch? Yeah.
Have you had a Platinum F450 on order for 23-24, a Platinum Plus on order for 25, now moving to 26? You never get scheduled. Is it time for a different dealer?
Yeah, I'd probably say so. I mean, the question is every single one of those years, have you gotten the notification that the order was submitted from Ford? Right? I mean, because sometimes like it used to be back in 23 and all that, orders would roll over. So on some of these, if you didn't get scheduled, Ford would roll the order over and then put in a new order for you. It would basically duplicate that order. But around 24 model year is when they said, nope, now you got to put in those orders for that model year. So they changed how they did it from like 22 to 23, I believe.
Yeah.
And so there were some dealers that didn't get that information on that. And so I'm wondering if they placed your order for 24 and 25. That's why I'm asking, whether or not that now I assume so for 25, if you went to Platinum Plus,
yeah,
they would have had to. But yeah, that is uncommon. A lot of ours, I mean, we scheduled everybody this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 2 businesses that placed orders just recently, and then 1 individual with a regular cab, which might struggle to get scheduled. But we've scheduled pretty much all of our 450s that we've had. And we did have some people that rolled over from 24 to 25.
Right.
That is 100% true. And Henry was one of ours, and he ended up not reordering because he ended up finding one. But one of our members. But we did have several 24s that had to roll over 25. 24 was a rough year. 25 this is a shorter year. They started production beginning of November, and so they're already redoing it. And the first ones are going to be built in July. That's a very short year.
Yeah.
Very short year. And so that's a little surprising to me. So I think that it's probably a short year this year because they're going to do something next year, a refresh next year.
Yeah.
So anyway, so.
Yeah. What is the video and auto streaming? Is it data for the Wi-Fi hotspot?
No. So the Wi-Fi hotspot allows you to have 2 different devices. Basically, your truck ends up being a hotspot, just like an internet spot, like you have at home, right? Your Wi-Fi for home. So any of the devices in the vehicle. So if you have kids with iPads and such, they can grab those and they can connect to Wi-Fi, right? And so that gives you the Wi-Fi hotspots unlimited. So whereas before that was its own thing where you work through AT&T, and if you wanted it, you had to work through AT&T. Nobody really, I was like, what's the point, right? You don't need to. So like the Expedition we have, it'll have the Wi-Fi hotspots unlimited. And so we don't have to work through them. It's done through Ford. So you're going to have that. So basically they took the Ford connectivity package and they included 3 things in that package: Wi-Fi hotspots, the premium connectivity package that we have now in most vehicles. That's your audio and video streaming. and you're like Alexa and stuff like, well, I guess Alexa was separate. So your audio, video streaming, your voice assistant, that kind of stuff. So basically you're able to tell Google what to do, right? I won't say too much with my phone right there, but then you use that system in there, including the maps. And so then also brought navigation in with it.
Right.
So it incorporated 3 features into one. I did a video on the connectivity 2 Fridays ago, I think. So you can check that video out. I did one on the on the different connected services, and I went into the Ford connectivity package and I went through what's all included in there. And so you basically, most vehicles, like I said, Lariat and above, XLT premium package will get all those features. Now, if you're XL, standard XLT, you'll only get the unlimited hotspots. But video streaming, audio streaming, that's if you're stationary. They're basically saying when you're stopped, you can video stream. Like if you're a business and you're streaming, you're on one of those streaming different ones that do the webcasts or whatever, you can do the streaming there through the vehicle. You can also do audio streaming. So we're talking about, like, I was able to connect my Spotify. So I went into my vehicle in the Expedition and I connected and logged into my Spotify from there. I didn't have to use Android Auto for it to work. Right. So really, there's no reason for me to use Android Auto in the Expedition anymore. Not really a reason for it. Right. I mean, unless you like the look of it. Yeah. Like I have that, but like your mom's not running it, but yet we can still use all the streaming. So, all that stuff in there, of course we'll switch over the Sirius and all that, but so audio video streaming goes through that. So, and that includes podcasts and such like that. So you can use your Spotify. If you have some of those different streaming audio, iHeart and all that probably could go through there and everything. So that allows you to be able to do that. So that's kind of different. And then again, the Google Assistant is different. So it's basically you're using the Google, to do it or whatever, Alexa. So you're getting that for that. And now if you don't get the 7-time $745 or whatever subscription, you're going to just have to pay a yearly $150 a year. So that's what I'm going to do, is wait for the 1 year to expire, and then I'll just renew every year. So, and it'll be $150 a year. Yeah. So that's what I plan to do. Which really, when you think about the cost on that, it's just a little more. What's it? A little more than $10, $12 a month, something like that. And when you think about what the AT&T alone is, $10. Navigation is more than that. I know what I pay for the Bronco. It's a lot more than that. That is actually a pretty good deal. Yeah. So when you look at it, I mean, should it come free? Yeah, I'd love it to come free. I think it should. But if you want to compare it to what they've had in the past with some different features and connectivity, I've got to say it's at least cheaper than what it has been. So, all right. So that was all of those Super Duty questions. Okay. So do we want to go to Q&A for the rest? Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, okay. In your opinion, are the advancements on the 25 mach-e worth $100 a month? More on a lease versus a 24. Both are premium extended battery, rear wheel drive. Well, I would say, the biggest thing you get for 25 model year is that heat pump, right? That heat pump will really help in the wintertime. So if you're going to be driving, maybe you're going to be pushing the battery a little bit more in the wintertime, you're going to really see an effect in the range in the wintertime without the heat pump. Like my Mach-E doesn't have the heat pump. Now for me, and your brother's like this, he's got a Mach-E. We're not big fans of some of the changes they made for 25 model years. There are a lot of people that love the openness of the console by moving the shifter. Instead of that dial shifter on the console, they moved it up to make it the monostable shifter, like Mercedes and all. We're not big fans of that. I don't like it. Also, with the heat pump being added to it, it took away from some of your front area, the front trunk area. But to be honest, I never use it anyway, so I wouldn't miss it probably. So that's not a huge deal to me. But those are probably some of the big things. Is that heat pump, could really make a difference in your range, and because it's going to make your range, it's going to do better in the wintertime. And in the hot summers, I know it's a heat pump that also will help in the hot summer days too. So that could be now $100 a month difference. I guess it depends on how much you drive in the wintertime and how much, what's your commute, because that could make a difference in that. But But that's my take on that is that we didn't like some of that. I can't remember what else was an improvement this year, or a difference. But yeah, I don't know. I know Jeff would be like, I want a 24 because I don't like any changes to 25.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For those keeping track, I'm still not scheduled on my 25 F450 Platinum. What's the chances I actually get scheduled? Hope all are having a fine evening.
They should, let's see, the next couple of weeks. When did they say that they're going to start scheduling for 26 model year the week of June? Is that the week June 12th? So you have this week and next week. You have 2 weeks. So I mean, you can wait to place your 26 order until after that, or you can go ahead and place the 26 now
and go ahead and get it in there.
Go ahead and get it in there. You might, especially since it's not a lot. I mean, they're not making a big deal about this, so you can get yours in before maybe a lot of other people notice, and you get because the only thing that's different is if somebody else has the same configuration as you, it's going to come down to the date that it was ordered. So especially on that 450, that can make an impact. So I'd almost get that 26 order in there placed, but you could get scheduled this week, the 29th, and next week, the 5th, and then on the 12th, that's when we're going to be scheduling for 26 model year. That's what it said. So
all right.
You have 2 weeks left to get it scheduled. Really depends on your dealer. I mean, we still have plenty of allocations like for our Super Duties because they will schedule. What's different about Super Duties and some of the other models is a lot of models, they'll try to schedule as many of the retails at the beginning of the month on that first month. Like you can use, as a dealer, you can almost use all your allocations that first week of the month. And if not, then they get used the second week and then they're all been used. But
Right.
Super Duty, they purposely will hold back and schedule in 4 sections.
Right.
So that's why there's still a lot of they're going to schedule just as many Super Duties this week as they scheduled last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, again, as much as they did the others. So they won't schedule out their entire month. As you can see by their build dates, they won't schedule the entire month, at the first couple of weeks like they do the other models. So anyway, and I think they do that just because if people put in orders throughout the month, they don't want them to miss out on opportunity getting scheduled. And so I think that's why they do that, especially those business owners and such. So
yeah,
they do the same thing on F-150, by the way.
All right. So what are your responsibilities at the dealership besides videos and travel?
Travel's not a responsibility, but I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. No, I get 4 weeks of vacation, so this is how I do it, and I plan well to because I don't use a full week typically. This is the first time I'm actually taking a full week, and I get 1 Saturday a month off. So I'm working the 31st is one of my Saturdays, and then next Saturday, the Saturday after, is my June Saturday.
Right.
And then working so I actually only use in that case 5 vacation days to be gone 9 days. It's kind of cool.
Right.
But with that said, I will go 5. I'll do a long weekend. So I'll work my Saturday into like a Thursday, Friday, Monday. So I'll use 3 vacation days, but have 5 days I get to go someplace.
Yeah.
But we basically, I always like to tell people I'm the internet manager. So if it's on the internet, it's my responsibility. Your responsibility. Our responsibility. So basically there's 3 of us in our department, Sarah, and then Jeff, my son, and he, between the 3 of us, we do the photographing of all the vehicles, new and used. We price the new vehicles. We're kind of more in charge of the new vehicles and making sure that there's descriptions on all of them, that they're on our website. They're getting pushed to all the other different places. The photos are getting uploaded. The, of course, we do also any kind of fun mailers we do. There's a mailer we send out for anything new that came to the lot the last week on the used usually. Sometimes we'll tweak that up. That goes out. You do that. You're responsible for that, which I used to do. And then, I don't know, basically anything that's online. So if for instance, we had holidays, we were closed Saturday and Monday. It was my job to make sure Google, Bing, and if you searched on there, showed that we were closed those days. Because I'll tell you, it drives me nuts when a business doesn't do that.
Right.
Because I went to go look for shoes. And I'm like, oh, surely they're open. According to the website, it says that they're open, but it does say hours may differ. And your mom's like, call them. And I'm like, I'm going down there. And they were closed. And I'm like, it's not hard because Google actually tells the person that's the active user, are you closed this holiday? Do you want to update your hours? And I'm like, it's not hard to go in and log in and do it. It drives me nuts.
Updating employee profiles, updating the events page, anything that has to do with the Law McArthur website, you handle that.
Law McArthur website, what things look like on the different vendors. I
handle the ads where you have like the lease, finance, and those types of ads that you'll see in places.
Yep,
I handle that
on Google. Yep. Yeah. So if it's online, I always say if it's online, it's my responsibility that it be right. Yep. So,
and then you've kind of moved into a social media type of interest
covered more in videos. So we brought Sarah in to help take some of the things that I normally would do, so that she does some of those, so that way I can focus more on getting the videos done and that kind of thing. So but
I keep joking, I'm not your assistant, it feels like, anymore.
So, and like when I'm gone, so you'll do all the pricing and everything and make sure that all gets done. So
Jeff will step in and help with a little bit more.
Yeah, and then he does all the thumbnails for all of our videos, and
he
does all of our shorts. So when you see shorts we take out of these live streams, those are ones that Jeff makes for me. So I give him the videos and he makes them into shorts that look good that we can put on.
He's also our technical support. So when I can't get my software to work right, I go ask him.
Anyway.
So all right. Can you please shed a little light on Platinum versus Platinum Plus for 26? I have a standard Platinum for 25, and I'm thinking of changing it to a Plus when I order my 26.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, before 24 model year, when they had limited, then there was a limited trim level, right? And so on the Platinum, you could get a Platinum or you could get a black appearance package on the Platinum. So basically what they did in 25 model year is every standard Platinum is basically a black appearance package Platinum. So I don't know if you knew that, but you're going to get the black wheels, the black tailgate, the black grille on your Platinum. Now that Platinum Plus, I like to say, is your limited, is what limited used to be. So I don't know if I have the actual equipment and a printout here in front of me to go over that to see. Let me look here. So some of the sheets I printed, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't think I have the page. Oh wait, yeah, I do. So Platinum Plus includes really a lot of equipment. So basically, they're going to take, and that's going to be standard high output. We'll have to order the high output diesel engine on that. Your grill be upgraded with a satin finish grill with a bright chrome inserts, so it'll look dressed up. Your door handles will be satin chrome. Your tailgate applique in the back will be a satin chrome tailgate. 20-inch wheels, so you'll get the bright machine with the carbonized gray pockets. The biggest impacts is on the inside because you're going to get the unique smoke truffle interior with Venetian leather. And then you get the French stitching on it as well. Your dash also will be nice and have the nice leather on it. The suede wrapped pillars, the Venetian leather on the door panels, as I mentioned, premium leather interior grab handles. The floor mats will be upgraded. The center console will be a little bit different with some wood grain on there, with the with premium wood inserts, with the split center console armrest, Venetian leather wrapped armrest there. The smoke truffle, premium luxury leather wrapped steering wheel, illuminated scuff plates. The max recline seats will be included as standard equipment. The Pro Power onboard upfitter switches, twin panel moonroof. That's all going to be standard, but also you get the Platinum Plus experience as well. So that means you get a premium maintenance plan included that covers you up to 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. says covers routine inspections, preventative care, and replacement of the normal wear and tear items that require periodic attention. I believe that means it includes oil changes. So there you go. The elite welcome call. So somebody will call you and welcome you to the program. You'll get a welcome package with a tribute item that'll be special for you. Accessory discount for 90 days. I think it's 10% off. I don't remember for sure, maybe more. And Ford Pass rewards tier upgrade, and you get one-to-one texting with a truck expert. So if you have a sales associate doesn't know what the heck they're doing, basically you get somebody that does know what they're doing, supposedly. So anyway, I still kind of laugh about that one there, because it should be your salesperson. You go back and you ask questions for them. You shouldn't have to have Ford help because the dealer isn't smart enough. But anyway, that's just me. Anyway, so there you go. That is what you get as part of the premium or the Platinum Plus package. And keep in mind, on the Platinum Plus package, they produce that at a 2 or 3% rate. It's a much lower rate than the other. So it's a lower rate, and that does require that high output diesel engine. So that is also produced at like a 19% rate. So there you go.
All right.
Next.
That's all I had.
Okay.
And it is 8:58.
All right. Yep. Nothing else? No other questions? All right.
It is a sleepy day here.
Okay. Nothing else. And I will be doing Digital Jazz says, I have a question.
Since Ford didn't redesign the Super Duty for 26, do you think they'll do a 27 or 28? Is it worth getting a 26? I bought a 22. I'm pissed that it got redesigned in 23.
Yeah, I try to stick with that, with your mom's. I've bought those expeditions on when I know they do a redesign or a refresh, and yeah, so it's kind of hard to go like, oh, I wish I'd waited 1 year, right? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you might wait 1 year. I don't know. They haven't told us. I mean, and that's really weird because Super Duty usually does stick to a 3 and 6, because a lot of people thought this was a year they're going to do a refresh, and they usually, like the grill will be refreshed, look different, or the headlights, right, like they did in the Maverick, or the interior will be different, upgrades and that kind of stuff. And they really didn't do a lot this year. They just kind of freshened up some of the content on there and brought back some things that people had complaints about, right? So I don't know. I mean, if your 22 is doing good, maybe you wait 1 more year.
Yeah.
I mean, and see. I would assume next year will be a redesign, since they didn't do it this year, or a refresh, I should say, not a redesign. When I say the difference between a refresh and a redesign is a refresh means that for the most part, it's the same truck. It's just they will give you a new looking grille, change those out, maybe headlights, and then usually like an interior upgrade. And they won't like redo the seats any, and they won't redo the dash completely like they did on the Expedition this year. Now, a redesign means they have totally redone maybe the door panels, or the dash completely is redone, and your outside will be different. Like basically your fenders and all that will not fit on the new one. So like an Expedition where the tailgate's different, right? And the trims will not work on the others. I mean, the Expedition this year was a total redesign. So it's what they call the next gen, right? Whatever gen that is, generation they're on. That's usually a redesign versus just a refresh. So they usually will refresh them. Like I said, on most vehicles, it's 3 years refresh. The 6th year is a redesign. After 6, Maverick stuck to that for the first. They're on a refresh right now, and they're saying their redesign will be after 6.
Yeah.
And Bronco Sport did not keep to that. Bronco has not even had a refresh yet. They've still stuck. I mean, from the beginning.
Right.
So you got a 21. We're on 25. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. They're 5 years. Bronco Sport went 4 years and did a refresh.
Right.
So yeah, so not all models will stick to that platform, but like Escape has, they just had a
Right.
refresh, right? Or no, redesign. I don't know if they're going to have a refresh this year or not. This year would be a year for a refresh for the Escape, so we'll see if they do.
Yep.
I think they're getting to where now some of them it's like they're going a little bit longer because we don't want to make too drastic changes. I mean, everybody's liking it or whatever, but so we'll see. Like I said, we don't really know if 27 will be a refresh, but if anything, it might be a refresh. So yeah, it won't be a redesign. So
All right.
there you go. Anyway, that's all we have. Anything else?
Nope. That was all.
All right. Well, that was fun. So we were episode 195 today, this week, and so 5 more episodes. We'll be at 200.
Wow.
So I don't know. I haven't done the calculation when that'll be, but we will not have a live stream next week. Won't see most of the videos you're going to see come out next week will be ones that I'm recording this week that will just be pre-recorded and go out, and they'll be on the Super Duty. So getting that content out. So just don't expect a lot next week unless you're on Super Duty. Want to get that content. So we'll try to get that all recorded this week for that to go out. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet how I want to do, because in the past I've done on every trim level, I did standard equipment, packages, and standalone options, including accessories and everything on each one of those videos. This year, I'm like, I think that they're long enough as it is. So we're going to do standard equipment. We're going to do the packages that are mainly on those equipment groups, but I might include all the packages in every vehicle and every trim one, and then maybe not do, and then I don't know, do a standalone option separate video. So either that, or I won't do accessories or GIOs and just do the standalone options, which isn't as many options. And then I don't know. So I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do it yet on that, but that's why I need to decide next day, because I'm going to start recording those starting tomorrow. So I recorded some of the packages today. You saw me record those. So we'll get those. So I've gone through all the package videos already recorded. So we'll figure out how we're going to incorporate that for this year. I hate for them to be, I mean, I don't want them to be over an hour, but it's probably, it is what it is. But they're very thorough. So, and nothing else will be out there yet.
Right.
So, anyway.
All
right. So, anyway. So,
do you think there's a chance of Super Duty with a hybrid engine?
No, there was actually, I really hate some of the YouTube videos that are out where they say, here's what you're going to expect from Ford this year. A lot of big things coming out. And like they mentioned the Ranger Super Duty. Well, that's Europe only. It's not coming to the US.
Right.
They mentioned a hybrid in the Super Duty. And we saw no Super Duty, right?
Right.
No hybrid for the Super Duty. I don't really know. There isn't anything. I don't see why they couldn't put the 3.5 hybrid in the Super Duty. I don't know if it'd work or not.
So
it's a lot of
it's an engineering thing when it comes to it, and it's kind of like the Bronco. They don't want to bring hybrid to the Bronco until they know that they can keep the capability there that already has, while also bringing that aspect to it. Height wise, weight wise, everything. Again, Super Duty is for towing and its capabilities. People buying Super Duty are typically buying it for the capabilities that you get for it. Otherwise, most people buy a F-150, which has a hybrid engine. So with the Super Duty, unless they can keep the capabilities the same, I don't see them going for a hybrid Super Duty.
Yeah, they want to continue that towing payload and everything, and I don't know. Like I said, they have it in the F-150, right?
Yeah.
So, it's not, and really the hybrid in the F-150 isn't about necessarily just fuel economy, because actually it's the capabilities of that 3.5 hybrid is actually better than the 3.5 Eco.
Right. But it's making sure that the payload and everything stays the same with it.
Yeah. So, and the other thing that was nice about that hybrid that a lot of people like is that 7.2 kilowatt pro power on board.
Yeah.
Right. So you're getting some of that technology from the Lightning that you get with that engine.
Yeah.
And so then you can use that to be able to power things, right? Because in that way it uses the hybrid motor for that. So I don't know whether or not they can make a hybrid that works.
Make the argument, well, what about us people that want the Super Duty for the look and not the capability? It kind of goes back to that Bronco. Some people are like, well, I only take it on, paved streets. I'm not going to take it off-roading. It's true, but what Ford plans for the vehicle to do is what they plan for the capability.
Yeah.
They aren't planning for the minority, they plan for the majority. Like we've seen with manual in F-150 and, extended cab or extended bed. Like there's certain options that they don't offer anymore is because it's a minority option that not a lot of people are buying it. So they aren't going to mass produce it.
Yeah. Well, but I see. Okay, so here's my take on the Bronco Sport is I think, why not make an engine available or a motor available option and one that's not going to be your off-road capable? Because we got to be honest, most of the people in the Bronco Sport aren't. We do have some people, and I have some friends that do, and I'm all for that.
Yes.
But, leave like a Badlands and maybe like I do like that Big Ben off-road, that like Diamond package, but why not make like a Big Ben, standard Big Ben available in hybrid? An Outer Banks, standard Outer Banks available in hybrid, right? Make the Heritage Edition if you want it. Those ones like that and the freewheeling, if they're not going to go off-road with it, make them available hybrid, but don't make like a Badlands or any of the off-road Sasquatch packages available in hybrid.
Right.
Right? Make that all about the off-road capabilities. If you're going to order the Black Diamond package, it can't come in hybrid. That's what I think. So that way the people that are using that for in town, and that's their SUV, they want the off-road capability. They want the winter driving capabilities, I should say, in town of having all-wheel drive.
Or the SUV feel where you have a little bit more room in the back, but don't want the big SUV.
Yeah. Make that hybrid. Now, probably some of it is because those still get probably upper 20s in fuel economy, which isn't too shabby. That's probably why one of the reasons why they don't feel like they have to do it yet, but that's part of it. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. F-150 loses payload because of battery weight. The Super Duty could tow a larger RV and have generator for off-grid camping. Kind of a niche market, but no other manufacturer offers it. And that's kind of where you're at that point where it is a niche market. And so that's why they probably don't offer it.
Yeah. Well, and like you'll notice some of the talking about that is having that to where you have that motor like that powers a generator part of it, like we're talking about, like with the hybrid. But we see that. Which is kind of cool because then you can do that. We're seeing some EVs kind of doing you have gas, but it doesn't power the vehicle.
Right.
It's to then power the battery, or it's to give more juice to the battery. So like we're seeing that. What do they call it? I can't remember what they're calling it off the top of my head now. I know it, but you have that little motor that just powers it's not actually powering the vehicle.
Because I've heard of like one guy, and that kind of, when Maverick first came out, he's like, well, does it do the thing where you can have it on all night and it just runs off of hybrid energy, but then when the battery runs low, it kicks on the engine for a little bit, charges it up, and then kicks the engine back off?
That's basically a hybrid.
Right. But at that time, we weren't sure because we didn't have a Maverick to drive or test these things out. So he had like a Subaru or something that he'd been using for years for when like hurricanes or a storm comes through and he's living in his car. He does that at night when it's cold weather. Yeah. So he was just like, can it do that? But that's a similar principle. You use the battery overnight and then it kicks on an engine, recharges it, kicks it off, and then battery again.
Yeah. Which is what F-150 hybrid does when you want to use the Pro Power on board. Is that it'll go off the hybrid and then it turns it on enough to power that back up and then shut it off. So that way you're not using your gas all the time to power it. So anyway, I don't know. but a lot of things that we like to see, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, but there we go. All right. Anything else? If nothing else, I think we call it a live stream. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us, and hopefully we learned something about Super Duty. Order banks are open up, and we know production is much better on Platinum or on F450. That's a big one that's been holding up. So we definitely will see that increase. I don't think I mentioned it, but 7% is the rate now. Will be at startup for the 26 model year F450s. So it's currently at 5% now. It'll be 7% for that August, I think, August production dates. So that is a big improvement. And it was 2% back in February and March. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it ramped up from 2% to 5% back in like March, April production. And now it's going to 7%. So it is increasing finally. So that's some improvement, and that should help out the model. Because F450 has been basically the one that's been holding up. A lot of people have been waiting for F450s to schedule. It's usually not the others. It's been F450s. So now that that's going to 7%, that ought to help out a lot. So anyway, so there you go. All right. I think that's it. So
yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. And yeah, I think that's it. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Any other thing?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, again, no stream next week. So just so you're aware, no scheduling video either next Tuesday. So you can see you guys in a couple weeks. So have a great couple weeks. And till then, stay positive, be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.
Bye.